Here you see the how the complementary base pairing rate takes place. Adenine will form the base, the thymine. Thymine. Thymine will form the base with the adenine. Here will be adenine. Here you have thymine. Here cytosine. Here will be guanosine. Cytosine. Adenine. Thymine. Guanosine. So this is the complementary base pairing. But it is different in the RNA. It is different in the RNA. But in RNA, we have thymine. Sorry, we have uracil in place of thymine. Remember it. Very important point that in the RNA we have the uracil in the place of the thymine, like here T. So if we want to convert this strand, okay. So please remember that only one strand of the DNA will transform into the RNA. So only one strand of DNA will convert into the RNA. Why it is so? We'll discuss it about it. So let's assume that this strand 3' to 5' is converting into the RNA. Now write it here that the 3' to 5', 3' to 5', and here we have the T, A, T, C, G, C, A, T, and G. Now, if you want to form a RNA, then it will be like this. So T will be forming the bond with the adenine. Now adenine will form the bond with the thymine. But we know that in the RNA we do not have the thymine. Instead of the thymine, we have the uracil. Here thymine. Here you will have the uracil. Here you will have the guanosine, cytosine, guanosine, uracil, thymine, sorry, adenine, and cytosine. And did the 5' to 3'. So the complementary base pairing is different in the RNA. The adenine will pairing with the uracil, and the different thing for the RNA. And this the uracil is responsible for the instability also in the RNA. So RNA is not considered as a genetic material because it is unstable due to the presence of the uracil. It is clear to all of you? I am going to erase it. Is it clear to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Any doubt? Noor? Noor, clear? Okay. I think it is clear to all of you. The next question: why only one single strand of DNA is converting into the RNA? The second question arises here: why the only one strand of the DNA will convert into the RNA? So let's try to find the answer. So why only one strand is converting one strand of DNA is converting into the RNA? Why it is so? Now see again, we have a double stranded DNA using the 5 prime to 3 prime. Here you will get some nitrogen gases. A, T, C, T, P, A, C, T, T, A, T. And you will got a complementary base pairing here. And the 3 prime to 3 prime to 5 prime, you will got a complementary base pairing. And the complementary base pairing, you know that adenine will form the bond with the thymine. Thymine will form bond with the adenine. Cytosine will form bond with the guanosine. Will adenine, then again adenine, again thymine, again cytosine, again adenine, again thymine, again adenine. So it is a dual strand of the DNA. Let's assume that 5 prime and 3 prime is going to convert into the RNA. So it will 5 prime to 3 prime is going to convert into the RNA. It will convert into 3 prime to 5 prime. It will look like this. At the place of the adenine, we have the uracil. Thymine, we have the adenine. The cytosine, guanosine, thymine, adenine, thymine, again adenine, uracil, then cytosine, guanosine, thymine, and uracil, thymine, adenine, thymine, and adenine, then we have uracil, and one more thymine, adenine. So this is the 3 prime to 5 prime strand of the 5 prime to 3 prime strand. Okay, so it is the 5 prime to 3 prime is converting into the RNA. So we are going to find the answer why both these strands are not going to convert into the RNA. So let us find it. So the first strand 5 prime to 3 prime is converting into the RNA, that is the 3 prime to 5 prime. Now we will see a second strand of the DNA converted into the RNA. So thymine is converting adenine to uracil, then guanosine, cytosine, adenine, uracil, thymine, adenine, then cytosine is guanosine, then adenine, uracil, and thymine, adenine, and adenine to thymine. It will be 5 prime to 3 prime. Now you can see here that we are going to form the protein from the RNA. Because what is the central dogma? Central dogma is the DNA. DNA from the RNA from the protein. Now it will form a specific protein. Each RNA will form a specific protein. Okay, each RNA will form a specific protein. Now you can see here there is the complementary base, but not identical. Both the strand of the DNA having the complementary base pairing and they are not identical. Complementary but not identical. Base pairing is complementary, but not identical. So you can see here that both the strand of the RNA contain different codons. What are the codons? I told you about the codons in the inheritance. So what are the codons? Codon is the group of 3 nitrogen bases. This is the one codon. From this one, this is again one codon, and here it is the one codon. Here it is the again one codon, one codon. So a single codon is going to form the protein. Sorry, amino acid. A single protein, a single codon is going to form a specific amino acid. Now you can see in this strand 3 prime to 5 prime we have UAG, while on the another strand we have the AUC. So there are two different type of the codon from a single DNA. So they will form a two different protein. Okay, they will form a two different types of protein, but we want to find we want to form a specific type of the protein. But we are here we are getting the two different type of the protein. So first thing, because the sequence of the amino acid will be different in both the RNA. Next thing, the problem is two different DNA, two different strand of DNA will form two different RNA Okay, so two different DNA will form two different RNA, and two different RNA will form different protein, and we don't want a different protein, we want a specific protein. Okay. Third and most important point, you can see here that they are the both RNA having the nitrogen base which are the complementary to each other. You can see uracil is complementary to adenine, adenine is complementary to uracil, guanine, cytosine, adenine, uracil, adenine, uracil, uracil, adenine, guanine. Sorry, guanine. Here your cytosine. Okay, adenine, uracil, adenine, uracil, uracil, adenine, and adenine, thymine. You can see here both the RNA strand having the complementary nitrogen base. So what will they do? They will form a double-stranded RNA. They will form a double-stranded RNA, DS, double-stranded RNA. This double-stranded RNA will not going to translate. Okay, so due to the complementary base, due to the complementary base pairing, they will form the double-stranded RNA, and this double-stranded RNA not translate. They will not form any protein. So it is clear to all of you that why only single strand of DNA will act like a temporary strand for the RNA formation. Only one strand is going to transform or to convert into the RNA. It is clear to all of you?
So now do you have time?
It is clear. It is clear or not? Please tell me so I can move from here. Okay. Now we will discuss about the transcription unit. So the transcription unit, it is defined by the it is defined by three region of DNA. What are the three region? So first is the promoter. Second one is the structural gene. Third one is the terminator. Terminator. Now we will require an enzyme here that is known as the RNA polymerase. Enzyme which will be polymerize the reaction in the transcription. That is the DNA dependent RNA polymerase. If you remember that we also use the polymerase in the replication process, but the enzyme in the replication process was the DNA dependent DNA polymerase because it was using the DNA for the polymerization of the DNA. But here the enzyme using the DNA to form the RNA. So that's why it is known as the DNA dependent RNA polymerase. Okay. So now, and this DNA dependent RNA polymerase will polymerize the reaction in polymerization in the direction, a single direction, that is the 5' to 3'. it will only polymerize the reaction in the single direction at the 5 prime to 3 prime. Now, let's see here the structural unit. In the structural unit, okay. So from this point, it is your structural gene. It is your structural gene. This is known as the promoter. This is your terminator. And we have the enzyme, that is the polymerase, RNA polymerase. So you know that RNA polymerase will polymerize the reaction in a 5 prime to 3 prime direction. So let's assume that we have to polymerize the reaction in 5 prime to 3 prime. So 5 prime to 3 prime. Then here it will be 5 prime to 3 prime. Now you can see here at the initial point the promoter is there. So from this strand 3 prime to 5 prime, from this strand 3 prime to 5 prime, the RNA polymerase will act and it will transcript this strand into the 5 prime to 3 prime, because it is starting from the promoter side, because promoter side will be initiate the RNA transcription. While we know that the enzyme will work in 5 prime to 3 prime direction. So in the second strand, here you can see, if we are going to transcript this strand from 5 prime to 3 prime strand, so 5 prime to 3 prime direction, then it will end up here, because this site is terminator site. It will stop the transcription. So it is not possible to transcript this strand. It is not possible to transcript this strand. So this strand is known as the coding strand. Coding strand, but it will not act like a coding strand. And the strand which is going to transcript, it is known as the template strand. Template strand. So we have coding strand, we have template strand, we have promoter, we have the terminator, and we have the structural gene, most important. So only this much strand, this much length of the strand will transcribe into the RNA. Okay, from this point to this point, the structural gene will transcribe or will form its copy into the RNA. It is clear to all of you? Please see the structure carefully. It is most important for the board exam also and NEET also.
सर अगर प्रमोटर और टर्मिनेटर को रिप्लेस कर देंगे उन दोनों की प्लेस से तो टेम्पलेट स्ट्रैंड और कोडिंग स्ट्रैंड भी चेंज हो जाएगा.
Clear? Please give me a thumbs up if it is clear to you. So I can jump on to the next topic. Okay. So here, now you will see what is the location of the terminator and the promoter. So the references are made up of the with respect to the coding strand. So promoter it is situated to the upstream towards the 5 prime end. Okay, so promoter situated to the upstream towards the 5 prime end. The references are made up with respect to the coding strand. So toward the 5 prime end, we have the upstream, and at the upstream we have the promoter. And terminator is toward the 3 prime end of the coding strand on the downstream. Okay. So location of the promoter is the upstream toward the 5 prime end. Location of the promoter is toward 3 end on the downstream location. It is clear? Okay. And question is promoter और टर्मिनेटर को रिप्लेस करेंगे तो स्टैंड चेंज होंगे. क्या बोल रहा समझ में नहीं आया. If you want to change the promoter and terminator, if you will place the terminator here, okay, the question is we want to, if we replace the terminator with the promoter, assume that this is the terminator and this is the promoter. So we want to polymerize the reaction into the 5 prime to 3 prime. So here it is not possible because it start with the terminator, and it's possible because it start with the promoter. So it is possible to change the, sorry, it can be, the strand will be changed with respect to the site of the location of the promoter and terminator. Okay. Now transcription unit and the gene. So what is the gene? Gene is the functional unit of inheritance. So in the terms of this is the simple definition. If you want to define the gene in terms of the DNA sequences, what will be the definition of the gene in the term of DNA sequences? So the DNA sequences responsible for coding of rRNA, ribosomal RNA, or tRNA, that is the transfer RNA, defined as a gene, defined as a gene. Now, what is cistron now? Cistron, so it is the sequence of DNA which will code for the sigma factor is responsible to initiate the transcription. Assume here it's our DNA. This DNA 5 prime to 3 prime, 3 to 5. Okay. So here you will have the promoter site. Assume there is promoter site. Then in the promoter site, we have the RNA polymerase will bind to the promoter site, RNA polymerase. And here in the RNA polymerase, sigma factor will attach. Sorry, with the promoter, sigma factor will attach. Sigma factor. And the sigma factor will initiate the transcription. Now, the second process, the initiation second process is the elongation. So, after the elongation will initiate, the sigma factor will be released. Sigma factor will be released by the DNA. So, sigma factor will release in the process of the transcription after the initiation is complete. And elongation will start. So, you can see the elongation is going. Elongation is going on words while the sigma factor is released. Now it is when it is reached to the when the elongation will reach to the terminator, then at the terminator side one more factor, that is known as the rho factor, will combine to the terminator and it will release the RNA. Third process is going to be termination. If you want to take a screenshot, then just go for it, because I am going to erase it now. Okay. Third process is the termination. And termination, we have a second factor known as the rho factor. So here the rho factor combined with the RNA released. This is your RNA. This is the rho factor. Rho factor. This is your RNA polymerase. You know that after completion of the any chemical reaction, the enzyme will release as such. Okay, so enzyme will release as such. Sorry. So this is the RNA. This is the mature RNA, which is the 5 prime to 3 prime, and this is your RNA, and it is known as the mature RNA. So you will get a mature RNA after the transcription will complete. So you can see here there is the three process: initiation, elongation, and the termination. In the initiation, sigma factor will combine with the promoter site, and the RNA polymerase will attach to this combination, and it will elongate the reaction, and the formation of the RNA will take place. After the elongation will reach to the termination site, then a rho factor will combine with the terminator site, and it will terminate the transcription. It will release the rho factor plus RNA polymerase plus RNA. Okay, so it is the transcription in the prokaryotic. It is clear to all of you? Is it clear to all of you? It is clear to all of you? Aryan? Okay. So it is about the transcription in eukaryotic, prokaryotic. In next lecture we will discuss about the transcription in eukaryotic. Okay. So transcription in eukaryotic is much complex than the prokaryotic. So we'll discuss about it. We will not get directly this mature RNA. We have some different processes, capping, tailing, and then splicing. So we will see about it in the next lecture. Thank you. Have a nice day.